My name is Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. Thanks for joining me today. This video is going to be, as I said, about the Schrade tactical pen slash stylus. We'll go ahead and show you the details, give you the specs on this thing. We'll talk about why I like it so much. Okay, so this is a close-up of the Schrade SC Pen 5 BK tactical pen with a stylus tip. Schrade makes several different versions of tactical pens. This is the one I chose so I can use it with my iPad. So the pen is made of CNC machined 6061 T6 anodized aluminum. Has a replaceable rubber stylus tip and a pocket clip. Also, the other end from the stylus tip has a glass breaker slash defensive tip. You take this thing apart, it has a replaceable Parker style ink cartridge, which actually writes pretty well. And the overall length of this thing is 5.2 inches and it weighs almost an ounce. This particular model tactical pen is available in black, green, or gold, and street price on this thing is about $26. Okay, so I wanted to show you, first of all, the stylus tip on this thing is actually replaceable, and you just unscrew it, and it's just a typical stylus. A little rubber tip comes right off. You can buy these things at any office supply store. Put a new one right back on, and screw the tip back on, and it really does work really well. It's also, the end of this thing is a glass breaker slash defensive tip, and if you unscrew it from here, and it has a really good writing pen, and the cap actually screws back on the other end so you can keep it all together in one piece. Okay, so you might ask yourself, why am I reviewing a tactical pen? Well, the name of this channel is Survival on Purpose, and although we focused a lot on wilderness survival, survival means surviving, and one of the things you may need to survive against, unfortunately, in today's world is somebody being aggressive towards you. And although this looks like not much, and it's certainly compared to a firearm or a knife or something, it's probably not as aggressive a weapon. But what's great about this is you can pretty much take it anywhere. You can take this on an airplane, you can take it in a courthouse. I mean, it's just a pen. It just happens to be a pen that's made of materials which are really hard, and it doesn't have a very aggressive tip on it. This is not for puncturing. This is more of a blunt trauma type defensive weapon. You know, what it's for is for getting yourself enough time to get away. Just the average person, you can inflict a pretty good bit of pain on somebody with one of these. So I like this one because it's got a stylus on one end of it, so it's very handy. You don't have to unscrew a cap or anything, just use it. I take notes on my iPad a lot, especially in church, so I use this to write. It's also, like I showed you, it's got the pen on it here. Writes very well. You can use this for a glass breaker if you're caught in a accident or whatever. I showed you all the details now, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. Pretty strong pocket clip. I mean, this is just very well made. This is not cheesy, cheap junk. This is very well made, not only very well made pen, but it's a very well made defensive weapon. And typically the way you're going to want to use this is, it's just to hold it in your hand with the striking part down here and use the hammer blow. And you can use this, and I'm not no kind of self-defense expert by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, you can strike somebody in the temple with this, you can strike them in the jaw here with it, pressure points. Anywhere in the rib cage, anywhere like here in the rib cage, you're gonna really bruise somebody. Somebody comes up behind you and grabs you from behind, you can do this. If you need to hold it like this, you can. But the problem is that's going to allow it to push through your hand under a lot of pressure. If you got your thumb in front of it like this, it can't go anywhere because your thumb is going to catch on your thumb. So you can jab somebody in the groin from down behind you, jab them in the groin, jab them in the throat. Point is, if you have this with you, you know, it's pretty innocuous. You can take a pen out and nobody's going to think, oh my gosh, the guy's got a knife or he's got a gun, or the lady's got a knife or a gun. She's got a pen, you know. So, but in a threatening situation, this could give you enough time to get away. And you can find these things all over the internet. A lot of different people make them. I think Schrade makes a pretty good one. This is under 30 bucks. I've seen a lot of them that are 40, 50, 60, 70 dollars. I don't know what they would have that this one doesn't have, because this one seems like it's pretty good to me. They also make this in several different models. They have some that they're called survival models. Actually got a little fire steel in it and a whistle and all that. I think for me, this is more of an urban type tool, defensive tool, whatever, just everyday carry. We just lost a breaker somewhere. I'm out here in the park under a shelter and it's raining. I just saw some kind of electrical pop. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So anyway, what I thought we'd do is, I've got some ceramic tile out here. Couldn't find anybody that would let me just poke them. So let you make your own judgment there whether you think this is a viable self-defense tool. Okay, so I've got my iPad here with just a handwriting app, and we just go ahead and show you this thing actually, and that's my app, not the pen. Got a little lag to it sometimes, but it does just fine. Okay, so you see, I mean, it's just a stylus that works great. Nothing fancy, just want to show you that it does work pretty well as a stylus. Just real quick. It writes really, really smooth. Now that's going to be obviously a function of the cartridge that you have inside of it. This actually comes with a German cartridge, so it's a really nice cartridge to begin with. Okay, so the pen parts of it work fine. Let's see how it works for survival and for tactical defensive use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gloves on, because this is a common pen that I have. Now, before you say, well, you just picked the cheapest pen you could, I just grabbed the first pen I could find in my truck. That happened to be the one I had. I want to use a big pen, but I don't have one because it's a very common pen. But we're going to compare a regular plastic normal pen to this, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to put my gloves on in case we get ink everywhere. Okay, so I've just got a regular piece of ceramic tile here, and I've got a regular blue pen. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. This thing may break the tile too. We're going to find out together here, but I'm going to hit it pretty hard. Let's just see. Okay, so it broke the pen a little bit. Let's try it one more time. Okay, so that's not happening. If you can see that, let me get where you can see it. The pen is broken, falling apart, and it did not break the tile. Okay. Tactical pen, can you see it now? Okay. Obviously, a fairly significant difference. I just want to show you, just kind of chip the finish off this thing. That's it. As far as damaging it, any otherwise, it did not. So, I actually got a thicker piece of natural kind of granite, some kind of terrazzo stone, I don't know what it is. So you can see how thick this is. It's a 1/2 inch thick. I don't know if it's going to break or not. Let's find out. Okay, that didn't do it. Hurt my thumb, but it didn't do it. So, but again, this is a 1/2 inch thick piece of stone. One more thing to try. Piece of slate. Don't know if it's going to break that or not. I'm going to try that one too. It's hurting my thumb, so I had to use the other grip. It did not break the slate, but it did break the tile. So there's a reason they use this for roofs 500 years ago that are still there. Okay, I'm probably going to have a nice bruise on my thumb after that because it's hurting pretty good right now. I probably could edit the slate and the other stone out, but why bother? Chances are you're not going to be attacked by slate or stone. You're not going to be attacked by ceramic tile either. I just wanted something to try to show you how tough this thing was. Certainly tough enough to put a serious bruise and some serious pain on anybody who would try to attack you if you just hit them in even close to the right spot. Again, anywhere in the head is going to hurt them, anywhere in the neck, anywhere in your collarbone area, your rib cage, your groin, anywhere basically. You hit somebody in the funny bone with this thing, they're not going to think it's funny. I also want to show you, even though the end is kind of dinged up and it's got a little screws right back on perfectly. So this thing's pretty tough. Probably tougher than my thumb because it is throbbing right now. Okay, so that's the Schrade tactical pen with the stylus again. If you're looking for something to carry with you all the time, that you can at least have something to defend yourself with in case of an emergency, and anywhere that maybe places you can't carry another type weapon, then this is certainly less than lethal. Another great thing it does, if you do carry a more lethal weapon with you at all times, and you're confronted with a situation, this gives you another option that you can respond with, maybe where it's not a lethal response would not be appropriate, but you need to stop somebody or shut them down. Then this could do it. Once again, this is the Schrade tactical pen with the stylus. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to Survival on Purpose. Thanks for clicking that thumbs up down below. If you like this video, let Google know you like this kind of video. Share it with your friends if you don't mind. And if you want to support this channel, you can check out the Amazon links below. I really appreciate it. Once again, my name is Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident, so be prepared. See you next time.